Welcome to Creation in the 21st Century. I'm your host, Carl Baugh, founder and director of the Creation Evidence Museum in Glen Rose, Texas. There's so much about us that needs to be explored. The title to today's program is Unfolding Universal History. Well, now that's a big task. First of all, we have the grand design, the magnificent display of all that we can see and comprehend from the physical dimension. And this universe is as grand as we could imagine. In spite of the fact that we have decay, second law of thermodynamics, so much is running down, but in spite of that, it's good to be alive. Peter talked about loving life, and we do. These living systems are supported by a universal cast. As we observe in marine biology, the flora and fauna of what is occurring under the seas and under the waters and in the seas and waters, as we observe the cleansing of those waters by the gravitational effect of the moon. In fact, if we didn't have the moon in place precisely where it is, and it did not cleanse those waters in a matter of months, life would be compromised. While that is going on, we have the bacterial microbes biodegrading once living systems. Were they not in place, in 90 days, microbiologists tell us life as we know it would disappear. We have an incredible and marvelous universal display. But all of these wonderful things, from the mammals to the dinosaurs, to the avian creatures, to the flying reptiles, the pterodactyls, all of these marvelous things are a part of a grand universal splendor. Here we have the Milky Way galaxy envisioned. Now, we're at precisely the right place in that galaxy for us to, by parallax, measure distance to other stellar bodies, both within the Milky Way galaxy and beyond the Milky Way galaxy. Then we have the inner stars or inner planets. In biblical times, these also were called stars. Any stellar body was known as a star. In Genesis 1:16, God said, and he made the stars also. What a grand statement. The panoramic supportive cast of 225 billion galaxies, each comprised of over 500 million stars. That grand panorama is just a sweep of the hand of God in creation. What an awesome statement. Now, we find that actually those distant galaxies are a part of a spherical design surrounding our Milky Way galaxy, our solar system, and our planet as a unit, because it is a single unit. They've found, Dr. Margaret Hutra and her associates have found 7 tiers of star bodies. These 7 tiers of star bodies actually affect, according to secularist Dr. Michael Denton and the technical literature, these star bodies affect the way we're able to move. Envision, if you will, 7 tiers of stars, galaxies. Beyond a tier, very few galaxies, very few stars, and another tier, a bubble, if you please, in all the galactic directions. And then another and another, 7 altogether. Now, if you envision that, certainly the greatest mass is at the greatest distance in the universe. And Dr. Michael Denton shows from the technical literature that in order for us to move a finger, the inertial mass and gravitational attraction in all directions, symphonically working together, make it possible for us to have mobility on planet Earth. What a grand design. So all of this is absolute splendor, including the distance of the sun, including the moon. Let's talk for just a moment about the unusual effects of the moon. Here, the artist has painted the moon in partial eclipse. And let's just take the portion that is showing. The glow of the moon is not its own radiance, but the glow of the moon has to do with the reflective radiance of the sun. And that glow is called its albedo. That glow is caused by the rays of the sun striking a northite on the surface of the moon. A northite. Now, a northite is a rather common crystal. It's found in the feldspars and the granites of planet Earth by the billions of granules. It's a beautiful crystalline form. And when radiated with energy, acoustical energy, or the striking of the sun's energy, it gives off a particular spectrum. Now, the spectrum that is in the literature described is 97% of 528 hertz vibrations per second. Now, that's very important. When we consider the fractures in that crystalline structure, it makes up the difference to 528 hertz. Now, that is significant for the following reason. These living organisms have a code programmed into their cells called the DNA, the deoxyribonucleic acid. That code determines not only the structure of their body, but the mobility and the function of their body. And it is the 528 hertz frequency that activates the enzymes for the repair of the DNA. Did you get that? We're all decaying. Our DNA has been damaged. We are losing effectiveness faster than the specific enzymes found by Dr. Barton of Texas A&M University, received the Nobel Prize for finding that there are enzymes, others have found additional enzymes, that actually run up and down the spine of the DNA, repairing the damage. But get this, every day, every cell of our body has approximately 10,000 assaults on the cell. So the cell is being compromised. So those enzymes cannot repair as rapidly as the damage is done, even though they continue to repair the DNA. But if the moon had a stronger albedo, a brighter glow, then it would be highly probable that those enzymes would be activated to a level to constantly repair the DNA. Well, now wait a minute. That moon in the creation did not have the faint glow. We had the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. The moon's glow literally did rule the night. Creationists have calculated the fact that you take out the distortion of the moon. The moon has been bombarded by meteoritic activity. It has also had internal expulsion of the basalt. That's how we get the figure of the man on the moon, the face of the man on the moon, by the distortions. But if you remove the basalt distortions and the meteoritic impact distortions, then you're going to get a clearer moon with an albedo reflectivity 2 to 10 times the current power, current value. Wow! That means that the stimulations for the repair enzymes would be greater. What an awesome arrangement of context. What a splendorous, symphonic universe. Well, how did it get here? The title of the program is Unfolding Universal History. According to the concept of evolution, which in the past, some decades ago, I espoused and taught, according to the concept of evolution,